And here is my audience. Hi, my name is Zoey Singleton and I am a junior at Gunner High School. Today I will be doing my speech over climate change. So imagine you are sitting on your couch 20 years from now and a news announcement interrupts regularly scheduled programming. Officials come on there to tell you that the climate is changing at a dangerous rate and that everyone needs to do their job to help pitch in so that it doesn't come to the worst case scenario. So you're thinking to yourself, why didn't we fix this before? Why did we wait till the last minute? Because officials have been telling us that climate change is a serious issue and that it will continue and continue unless we do something to stop it. And as of now, nobody really is doing anything to stop it. So when worst comes to worst, we're going to be in a bad situation. So today I'm going to talk about what climate change is, what the consequences are, what could happen, and what we can do to fix it, become conservationists, and to help save our planet. I would just like to say that before I started doing research on this, I personally didn't really not care, but I didn't pay any mind to climate change and really the effects that it would have on me and my family now and my future family. I didn't really bother to learn about it, but now that I have done a lot of research about it, I really do care and I want us all to start making small changes. So with that being said, the first huge problem with climate change is the greenhouse effect, which is science-based. It is proven. The greenhouse effect is when the sun's warmth gets trapped in a lower atmosphere. So the lower atmosphere would be our Earth's atmosphere. This is a huge problem, but not only this, the burning of fossil fuels, which we already are running out of, deforestation, which is that's the humans to blame. Like, that is us. Most of it is us, but that is one thing that has nothing to do with the Earth or the Earth's atmosphere. That is just us getting rid of our oxygen, basically, which I don't know why we would do that, but we are just creating space because our Earth is very overpopulated, and so that is just our way of creating spaces by cutting down all the trees that were put there for a reason. Gases, our air is very polluted. In the States, it is not near as bad as like Japan, where they have to wear masks every day when they go out in public because the air pollution is just so bad. It's creating so many oxygen-based health issues for them, which is very unfortunate, but it's already happened. They could stop it, but it has already happened and they don't really seem to do much about it. But the last thing that I personally want is for it to travel to the States and the States to become so polluted that like we can't even go out in public without taking precautions. In fertilizers, just any types of fertilizers, or we're upping the production of livestock farming. That's not very good for the planet, but it is something that we do because humans rely on it. So, coming from the European Commission, we have 12 to 25 years to deal with this before it becomes life-threatening, which is what nobody wants. It's already becoming life-threatening for so many species, not humans, but animals, and it's becoming life-threatening for so many places in the world. We just don't want to continue to cause this problem and see these outcomes. So what are the outcomes? The outcomes would be, there's a few minor outcomes that have already started to happening. They are big outcomes, but it's minor in the grand scheme of things. The biggest outcome of this would be losing everything on the planet and everyone no longer being here, which would be very unfortunate, and I do not want to be here to see that happen. So minor happenings that have already started occurring would be melting ice, so loss of habitats for all the Arctic animals like polar bears and penguins and seals and all of those good creatures that we really want here. And so melting of ice and loss of habitats. Loss of habitats also when we deforestation, that's a loss of habitats for all the animals that live in the trees. New diseases, that goes back to the pollution problem. It'll create more diseases for our lungs and hearts and just all that good stuff that we really need. Extinct animals. I don't know if any of y'all have looked at the endangered species list recently, but there is a ton of animals that could easily not be on there if it wasn't for climate change and for what us humans are putting out into the environment. Extreme weather. This is something that everyone should know about, even if you haven't done research on this. If you have listened to anything lately, you'll know that there is a ton of wildfires right now in California. That is partly caused by climate change. Also, the hurricanes. There was a few this year. There was a ton last spring. Those were caused by climate change. We don't need any more of those because those will make a huge impact. They do make a huge impact on our habitats, everyone's habitat, really. There's a book called 6 Degrees by Mark Linus, and it basically explains that for every degree point we rise, something will happen to the planet. So if we rise from this degree to this degree, a natural disaster will occur. This degree to this degree, we will lose this species of animal. So it's a really good book, and I encourage you all to read it when you have time. So how do we fix this? How do we stop climate change? Pretty easy, actually, if everyone pitches in and takes a small few steps, the impact would be huge. So things like riding your bike instead of driving, carpooling when you do drive somewhere, gardening even, and something very small that everyone could afford to do is unplugging your electronics when they're not charging. So when they're just sitting plugged into the wall, unplugging them could, if everyone did it, it could have a major effect and lessen climate change altogether, which is what we need. So I'd like to encourage everyone to make these small changes. I can't stress that enough. We do not want to be put in a situation of basically life or death, losing our planet, or making a couple small changes. This could all be easily avoided. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening to my speech today. And last little notes would be to read that book, 6 Degrees, because it is very good, and also, like I said, make those small changes and do research over climate change. Thank you.